Hello, good day everyone. I'm Ryan from Bitolid 1-J2. So today let's talk about the Philippines a century hence. A great Filipino, Dr. Rizal, has left me outstanded with his accomplishment since his childhood. He was an artisan, an adult male of cognition and admiration, a linguist, a gentleman, a maestro in every trade, none to advert his hundreds of accomplishment and profession. With the miracle of how he had attained all of this in the short lifespan. The great Filipino Dr. Rizal wrote an article about the Philippines' future or what will be the Philippines after a century entitled The Philippines a Century Hints. So, this work of Rizal forecasts the future of our country within 100 years by formulating on the present condition and circumstances to arrive with the concept of the future of the Philippines. So this essay reminds the Spain of what wrongdoing things they did in the Philippines that affect the ancient traditions, recollection, forgot the writing, and of the other different fields of the Filipino. So let's talk about the, may I present to you my reflection about the work of our great national hero, Dr. Rizal, the century hints. So the point of view of my reflection is all about the Philippines after a century of or what will be the Philippines after a century by concluding to the work of Rizal. The Philippine century hints in this article the Rizal work, me, myself, and I noticed the answer of Rizal in his work. Well, first, before that, Rizal in his essay exposed the several issues that concern our country. The abuse of human rights, the lack of freedom of the press, and the lack of representation in the Spanish Cortes. So Rizal notes several possibilities of what will be the Philippines after a century. First on top is that the Philippines would stay Spanish colony provided its citizens receive not only the rights and the privilege of the citizen of the Spanish crown, but also the inherent right of the human being. The second is that the Philippines will inevitably raise the revolt against Spain of continuous exploited and abused several historical events as example. And the lastly is, and that the Philippines may be conquered by other nation after Spain's presence in the country is extinguished. Most of us Filipino are now enslaved by staff from other states that we neglect the wealth of our aim, merely as Rizal has thought of salvaging our ascendant. Many modern Rizal will get down to salvage our vanishing civilization. Everyone does not necessitate to be a psychic to recognize what will going on. The Filipino are now intelligent. It's merely an affair of taking which manner to take. A manner likewise to what Rizal and many of our heroes had taken, or another manner of following things be. So, was tactful, as expected. It's open to be the idea of Rizal, none of prophesy, a visionary, but merely a normal adult male. Yet, he was, no certainly, a mastermind. His inventiveness transcends through clip, which finally make him a prophet. He was a great Filipino genius. It is the most appropriate rubric to be given to him. So, well for me, these are the factors that overview the prediction of Rizal in his work. The Philippines a century hints. Well, this is my own perception of Rizal work. History repeat itself. History may repeat itself 100 times now. But today's battle was not the same battle of our forefather were fighting before. It is no message with an intention of giving a warning. The colonization by the Spaniard, which started 4th century ago, is now parallel to the colonization of foreign minds of our own countrymen. So, let us always use our minds for thinking that will be the result of what wrongdoing things that be the Spaniard to us. And that's all. Thank you. Stop recording.
This battlefield man has no better weapon than his intelligence, no other force but his heart.